So hello. I've been on a vegetarian diet for about 3 weeks, and when I um, when I started it, I was having trouble swallowing, and because of my medication, and I was having trouble swallowing because of my medication, and it's one of the side effects. And one side effect is weight gain. Other side effects there's lots of side effects, but one side effect is trouble swallowing. And if you've been on it a while, I think you get this problem. And I've been on it for about 6 years, and I have I have trouble swallowing, and I did get rid of the problem, but it's come back again, and I feel like some things happen for a reason. And I tried to I've been on a vegetarian diet for about 3 weeks, and I tried to a few days ago I tried to go on a vegan diet, and today and yesterday I broke that diet by having milk, and I went to this fiesta thing in the park, and where my friends are painting, and I had a coffee, and I shouldn't, and it didn't have soy milk in it, it had milk in it. And I had this thought today that when I was having trouble swallowing, I thought, it's kind of like this thought said in my brain, you don't deserve to drink milk because not you don't deserve to drink milk, but you shouldn't drink milk because it's bad, because milk's meant for a baby calf, and we're the only species to drink humans are the only species to drink milk past infancy, and it's pretty ridiculous, really. We're like big babies or something. We are the only species to drink milk past infancy. No other species does that, and it's milk from another species as well, from cows, and it's very weird when you think about it. And I had when I went vegetarian, I was having the swallowing problem, and I heard this kind of thought in my head that said something along the lines of, if you eat meat, how would you like it if something ate you? And I just I thought that was kind of profound, really, to me, and I never looked at it from that point of view. And I've been watching some like videos that are for going again for going vegan, and it's just it just seems like the right thing to do. And I just made a cup of coffee, and I've got some oat milk, and it doesn't taste hardly any different. It just, if you leave it for a while in your coffee, it tastes a bit acidic, but it doesn't taste that different. So but with the TMAU, it's I just had some milk with soya. No, not milk. I just had some porridge with soya milk because I didn't want to use up all my oat milk for my coffee, and I just had some porridge with soya milk, and I don't have the TMAU problem as much as I did in the past, and that's because I took lots of probiotics. I took probiotics that are meant to be taken in a week, and what I took was called Replete Intensive, and it's made by BioCare, and I took it for about I bought about 5 of these, not in one go because they're so expensive. I bought about 5 of them over the course of about 3 over the course of about 5 years. I bought about 5 of them, or maybe in a shorter time frame, maybe about 2 years, and I must have bought about 4 of them in 2 years, and I took them every week. Well, I took not every week. I took them the weeks that I purchased them, I took them, and they're supposed to oh, I just get really anxious talking. I don't know why. I just do, and but I'll say it by getting tongue tied. I took them over the course of a week, and they got rid of the problem completely. Well, not completely, but more or less. I still have it when at certain times of the month, and I don't like talking about that, but it's kind of just I just don't like talking about that really. But I still have it at certain times, and it's but I don't have it all the time, and like sometimes I have a very bad taste in my mouth, and sometimes my breath I have the problem on it, but it's very rare that I have it anymore. And it's like a godsend really that I don't have it anymore, because it was such a horrible thing to have to go through and to have, and I got rid of it by taking lots of probiotics basically, and I was on antibiotics. I don't know how to pronounce it, neomycin or something like that, and I was on that, and no, it wasn't that. It was something else. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it was something like that, and it was oh, my hair gets my nose. It was something like that, and it was I can't remember what it was. It was such a long time ago, but I was on that, and I finally didn't think I had a problem anymore when I had a really good therapist. And my problem used to happen when I was stressed, and when I was stressed, I used to basically smile, and I used to be stressed so much, and use it was kind of a defense mechanism, and I used to have the problem when I felt people were getting too close to me, or when people were being horrible to me. I used to have the problem, and in the sense of being horrible, I mean when I felt threatened by people, I would have the problem, and it would tell people to leave me alone, basically, like a skunk or something. I don't want to compare myself to that, but that's what it was like, and yeah, but I'm trying to go. I don't know why I'm talking about that really. I know it's important, and it is important to me still, because I'm still paranoid about a problem to a certain extent. Because if I have a bad taste in my mouth, sometimes I won't go out, and because it still affects me, and but if I had the problem tomorrow, I probably wouldn't go out. So if I suddenly had the problem again, I wouldn't really go out anywhere. So I had this really good therapist who oh, why do I keep saying that? Who basically she took me into a cafe, and she was a trainee therapist at the time. She's probably a fully fledged therapist now, but she was a trainee therapist, and she took me into a cafe, and she had an ingenious way of telling me that I didn't have the problem anymore, and she sat me. We went into the cafe at different times. I went in the cafe first, and then she came in the cafe, and I sat down, and then she went in the cafe after me, and she had a clipboard and a piece of paper, and she asked people around me without they didn't know we knew each other, and she asked people around me what type of smells they could smell, and none of them said a horrible smell. They all said coffee, because we're in a coffee shop. I don't know if I said that, or like perfume, or just nice general smells. And from that point on, I went out and I got on with my life. And from that point on, I had my life back really. And she was such a great therapist. Her name was Laura, and she was such a great therapist. If you're watching this, she wouldn't be watching this, but if she stumbles across this, I just want to say hi. But not that she'd be watching this, but I just I thought she was just such a great therapist, and she really helped me, and I she was the best therapist I ever had, and I had a few of them, and I had a few of them, and she was really good, and she used my drawings to help me. She had this framework where I draw a comic, and it was like a CBT framework, and it would have like situation, and then I'd draw a frame of a comic book, and it would have the situation, then it'd have bad feelings toward the situation, thoughts about the situation, and body feelings in your body, and thoughts, safety behaviours, and things afterwards, after the situation, and it really helped me, and it was so my time with her, it was so good, really. She was such a good therapist. She's a very good therapist, and I recommend, if you have TMAU, to try and find a therapist like her, because they can work wonders, really, and it's just it's really really, it was really good. So that cheered me up talking about that. It's funny what you remember when you remember things. It's funny what you can remember, and that was before I went into hospital and before I got really ill, and that was before I stopped taking my medication stupidly, and I stopped taking it because I put on so much weight. And I was so fed up with the weight gain, because I used to be about 7 stone, and that's too thin, 7 stone, but I'm about 5 foot, and about 8 stone's about right for me, 7.5 stone, and I stopped taking it because I put on so much weight, and because it was depressing me so much. And even talking out, I've got a horrible taste in my mouth. I just had soy milk porridge, as I said, and I've got a horrible taste in my mouth, and as I said, I can't remember what I was just talking about, but as I said, I'm trying to go vegan, and it's really hard, and it's just today I bought some coffees from the refrigerated section of Tesco, and I bought them for the first time yesterday, and I really liked them, and I thought I'd try them again, and I can't afford to keep doing that, and it's really ridiculous, really. So I'm not really going to I think it'll save me money in the long run going vegan, and it's something I kind of want to do, because I have a problem with eating anything that comes from an animal. I've got a leather bag, and I'm thinking I already own the leather bag, so I may as well keep it, but it's kind of like hypocritical to say if you don't eat meat and you don't eat anything that comes from an animal to have leather and wear leather. But yeah, I just think it's a bit hypocritical, really. But the thing about what I was talking about with the TMAU, if you have TMAU, you need to find a good therapist, because a good therapist can really help you. And I was so lucky to have Laura, who was my therapist, as my therapist, and she was such a godsend, really. She was such a good therapist, and she used my art to open me up, and I go in there and I literally couldn't talk to her, and I drew this picture one day, and I said I drew a picture of me, and then I drew a picture of her in a room, and then I drew what was stopping me from talking, and it was a massive block of like stone. It was just stopping me from talking. It was like metaphorical, but it was like in the middle of me and her, and I just couldn't talk. I just couldn't say anything. I just couldn't say anything, because I was so overwhelmed by everything. And it's I've got a job now, but I haven't started it yet, and I don't know when I'm supposed to start it, because it was my friend's old job, and she finished Friday, and the next day to start is tomorrow and Monday, and they haven't given me my they haven't even told me when. They haven't told me I'm starting tomorrow because I have to be cleared because it's in a bank, and I really don't know when I'm gonna start. So, but I've applied for another job. But they're part-time jobs, but I've applied for another job, and I hope I get it because it's working alone mostly, but I quite like. It's a job that I think I can manage for once, so I'm really looking forward to it, and there's lots of things coming that are good. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to new things really, and yeah, it'd be good. I put a video up of all my artwork, and I think it's quite a good little video really. Yeah, it's a good. I don't want to talk like that. Yeah, like that. It's a good video really. I really like it, and I entered this competition called Jonathan by Jonathan Levine Projects, who's the Jonathan Levine Gallery, who's in New Jersey. It used to be in New York, and I've entered their competition to find like the next great artist, and I think my work's really not on that level yet, but I think it's promising, and I think it's definitely promising, but I need to practice a lot before I can get it to any kind of level of those kind of galleries, because they're like the best in the world, and I don't think I'm at that level really, but I think I can get to that level. I just have to keep slugging away at it, but yeah, my mouth tastes really horrible. It's really disgusting. I don't really like talking because I can feel it like come out my nose as well, and it's just it's not very nice. But as I said, what helped me with TMAU is probiotics, and I haven't taken probiotics for a very long time, and it did help me a lot. But now with it basically it did get rid of the problem, but I still think I have the problem sometimes, but it just sometimes, but it got rid of the problem. What got rid of the problem more than I think my problem was so related to stress that when the stress went away, I no longer had the problem. And what confirmed it in my mind was that appointment with my therapist that day when we sat in a coffee shop when she did the survey, the smell survey, and I no longer had it, and I knew then that I no longer had it anymore, and it was like a weight off my shoulders really. It was just it was so amazing just to be able to feel like a normal person again. And now I go now after that moment, I went to coffee shops, I went to the cinema. I haven't been to the cinema in about 7 years or something like that, and I went to cinema for the first time, and I can't remember what the first thing I watched was, but I can't remember what the first thing I watched after like 7 years was, but I went to the cinema, and I went out more, and I opened up, and I met lots of nice people, and I started attending art events, like street art events, and I met so many nice people through doing that, through my artwork, and I met so many cool artists, and now they're my friends, and I met so many nice people, and now now I'm finally getting on with my life, especially with the fact that I've got a job, and it's just really nice really. So to anyone who's watching this and thinks that TMAU is like a death sentence, or always insurmountable, then don't listen to your inner demons, because you really don't need to listen to them anymore. Sometimes we have thoughts that kind of guide us, and sometimes we have thoughts that are horrible, but they're there for a reason, and they're there to get you through a dark time. And even if they're horrible thoughts, I still think they're there to get you through a dark time, and they're there because you're in that state of mind at the time, and you need like a reassuring voice. Or I'm talking about thoughts here, not voices, but you know what I mean when I say, like, when you think and you think in your conscious thinks something, it's there for a reason. And if you have TMAU, or you think you have TMAU, then and if you're super depressed about it, then it's not always going to be like that, and you have to remember that, because I didn't remember that at one point, and it was really tough when I first at some points in my life where I couldn't even contemplate thinking there was any bright future ahead of me. And it's really sad, really, to think back to those times. And things do get better, and they're not always really dire and really horrible. Things do get better, and things happen that are really good. So you should remember that. And if you have TMAU, get a therapist, because or I'd just say get a therapist, because they can really help you. And it's just it really changed my life. So yeah, I don't know why that's all I want to say, really. So I'm kind of talked out now, and I'm just gonna go and get ready for tomorrow, because I've got a meeting with my mentor from the Prince's Trust, and he'll be super pleased with me, because I'm finally getting on with things. So yeah, I'm gonna go. But if you do have TMAU, remember that it's a horrible disease, but it's not a be all and end all, and you have to remember that, because sometimes in your darkest moments you don't remember that, and there is a way out of it, and it's a good, things do get better. So okay, bye bye.